Unlisted here. Stick around at the end of the video for a very special announcement regarding the start of my KoFi support page. I'll talk to you about it in about 30 minutes from now in the real Tive flesh. Hope you stick around. I'll see you then. Alright, on with the video. The top 10 deep cuts of Stellar Blade. Have you played through the game 1, 2, or even 3+ times and feel like you know everything about the Angel of the 7th Airborne Squad, her comrades, her antagonists, and the NPCs? Do you have a solid handle on the story and its related lore? Are you looking for something perhaps that you don't yet know about Eve and her compatriots? Well, I guarantee you I've got at least a handful of things on this top 10 list that even the most well-versed fans of Stellar Blade might not yet know. So why don't you let me take you on a ride down the campaign one more time to appreciate the finer things this masterpiece of a game has to offer. The things that would be considered super deep cut knowledge, Easter eggs, deep lore content, and things that will simply blow your mind make up this thrilling top 10 Stellar Blade list. Let's go. Number 10. The Elder and his Alphas. With the exception of Tachy, the Elder made every alpha. 2 of the created alphas, through item descriptions and the natural progression of the story, are explicitly stated to the audience. Oracle's ecological information and his last cutscene revealed the Elder's creation of Oracle, and Raven's turn into an alpha is written in the item descriptions. I saw it, I heard it, and I felt it, all accounted for by one of the bookshop owner brothers, Felix. Again, not including Tachy. The other 2 alphas, Gigas and Demogorgon, are also created by the Elder, but this is not ever explicitly written or shown. This occurs off-screen prior to the events of Stellar Blade that in retrospect, upon reflection of the story, can be pieced together through the actions the Elder must have taken for Gigas and Demogorgon to exist as alphas. Upon scooping up the latest angel in his clutches, the Elder took her straight towards Alpha Tive territory.
Make sure to stay cautious. It's where the Alpha Tive is.
Eve's mission is to take out Alpha Nativas and capture or eliminate the Elder. So to her, Adam is simply obliging her request. Little does she know this has all been arranged by him prior. The Gigas type is a subspecies of Nativa. There are multiple in the game, one of which Eve battles later in the Wasteland that is not an alpha. And the Gigas type Nativas were also around during the Final War, at least 72 years prior to the events of Stellar Blade. Its ecological information states how they were the first to display a higher intelligence during the Final War. The only reason the Gigas Nativa in 807 is an alpha is because Adam made it so. Adam seeks it out because he requires a formidable Nativa to test his latest angel from Wave 7. He finds one in a location near a downed drop pod. As the Elder, any Nativa, formidable or not, submits to him. He places the alpha core inside of this Gigas, then retreats. He remembers this location and brings Eve to the outskirts of the crater. Not too close, but also not too far. Eve venturing inward and finding it is also part of testing her. Eve eventually makes it there and dispatches it. Her obtaining the alpha core that he placed within the Gigas is the first confirmation Adam needs that this angel may in fact be worthy. He therefore brings her to Zion and pushes her in the direction of the 3 other alpha cores required to enter the nest. Around 173 days prior to this, Adam used the orbit elevator to ascend to the core of Spire 4. This was the last day the orbit elevator functioned.
It is operational, right?
According to the records, the last trip was 173 days ago. However, I cannot find out who exactly was on it.
Adam is the last person to have used the orbit elevator because he was in search of another formidable Nativa to turn into an alpha. Remember, his original plan was to have the Demogorgon be Eve's final test. What better Nativa to battle than this huge, indomitable mass atop the orbit elevator? If the angel he had chosen was able to take out this Nativa, she would definitely be worthy. Around 173 days ago, Adam knew Wave 7 was on the horizon of descending to Earth. He therefore made his way atop the orbit elevator, then reached out to the Demogorgon and placed the core inside, knowing that if the angel he will eventually choose from Mothersphere's next wave can overcome it, he will choose her. She will be worthy enough to enter the nest and complete his plan of fusion. Number 9. Eve and Lily's signal to the colony. Number 9 is more of an unanswered question. While sitting in one of the airborne squad camps just prior to entering the Raphael spaceport at Spire 4, Eve has a short discussion with Lily via the drone about the possibility of connecting to the colony network once the disruption field created by the yet unknown Alpha atop the orbit elevator is destroyed. Being a tech expert, Lily theorizes Eve will be able to connect to the network, something that has been impossible due to the combination of the colony extinction and the sustained disruption of the network, reaching anyone on Earth from the amassing Demogorgon that remained within and around the core of Spire 4 once she steps out into the atmosphere.
I thought of something while looking through the map data. Once you exit the atmosphere, it's possible you'll be able to connect to the colony network.
It doesn't hurt to try. Once we're connected, we can send legacies containing everyone's memories and the truth about the Netibas.
This of course does not happen according to their plan, but there is still a possibility it occurred. I'll get back to what actually did happen in a minute, but in terms of what they planned, it involves what they had acquired so far in the campaign. They are now in possession of the truth from Raven's legacies, as well as everyone's memory sticks that Eve has collected, many of which have refuted Mother Sphere and denounced her doctrine in favor of the various truths those that were abandoned on Earth have realized. The truth about the colony extinction, the realization that Mother Sphere is an ASI, and an understanding that this ASI is not truly trying to save anyone still left on Earth, and more. This information, if sent to the colony, would be like an information dump of the truth. Something that would override all of the twisted lies and propaganda that Heaven's royalty has been fed by Mother Sphere. We know she withholds the truth from them.
I was very surprised when I first met you.
Why?
Back in the colony, we learned that everyone on Earth was completely wiped out.
And there are other hints that those in the colony are consistently lied to by the ASI to maintain peace.
Didn't we praise Mother Sphere by calling her the mother of mankind? Mother Sphere is the immutable being who saved mankind from ruin and has given us both life and a cradle. But the peace we enjoyed in the colony was only made possible because of the blood on our mother's hands.
If those in the colony were to receive the truth about the Netiba and their created God, it would be a dramatic disruption that would lead to an existential paradigm shift in their understanding of who they are, similar to what Eve, Lily, and Raven went through. But once Eve is flung from the core by the Demogorgon, their plan is literally thrown out the window. It is theorized by some fans that at this moment, because the disruption field is now gone, Eve connects to the network and sends the data on Tachy's memory stick via a wireless sync to the colony. This gesture of bringing one's arms and hands inward to the chest is how androidos perform a data transfer or sync. We see this occur throughout the game when Eve happens upon other deceased angels, and within the Matrix 11 hideout. Perhaps Lily and Eve's plan of sending the truth to Heaven's royalty never occurred, because in low orbit, Eve does not pull out a legacy. All she does is the hand gesture. Or perhaps the transfer of information to the colony did occur via some type of queued automatic sync that Lily set up once the disruption dissipated as a result of the Demogorgon's destruction. Unfortunately, we won't know until the sequel arrives, but it's nice to think about the possibilities of the truth making its way into the colony, and what that would mean for Mother Sphere's androidos humans within. Number 8. Earth's recovery. One of Stellar Blade's most beautiful moments occurs during the orbit elevator's final ascent upward, with Eve looking out at Earth. Hyunmin Cho and E.G. Kwan's Everglow swells in the background as Eve gazes out at the blue Earth.
Look out the window! It's Earth! Wow! It's amazing how blue Earth looks from space. But when you're down there, it's all grey or wasteland.
This, contrasted with what we've seen on Earth throughout the campaign up until this point, that of the barren red wasteland and the brown sands that sprawl outward endlessly across the great desert, gives Eve and Lily a new appreciation of the planet that is home to humanity. Sure, they've seen the blue planet from the windows of the colony, but prior to Eve and Lily's actual time on Earth, they have never truly interacted with life here. It was only after Lily's dive to Earth that she got to interact with the plants of Earth experienced in her atelier, and Eve never felt the soothing droplets of rain on her skin prior to her dive. Because of the colony extinction, moments like this are now rare as most of life has been snuffed out. but the answer to restoring life can be found in the solar towers. They were Mothersphere's answer to global warming. Through the use of harnessing microwaves from the colony, the solar towers had the ability to terraform regions of the planet to change the environment to create more habitable zones to live in. We see this occur on a micro scale when Eve reactivates the solar tower in the Great Desert, which dissipates the active sandstorm. This leaves us with the question, what other functionalities do the towers have, and how quickly can they operate to terraform a region of land? Do they have the capacity to terraform whole environments on a more grand scale? How did Mothersphere use the solar towers during the post-reclassification period? And can this be recreated? For the sequel, I would love to see a bit of a time jump and the citizens of Zion, under Lily's tech expertise and guidance, figure out the ability to implement the solar tower's terraforming abilities. This would allow us to explore new types of environments that are different from the wasteland and Great Desert. Here's hoping we can see the little Artemis techie of the 5th Airborne Squad figure this out to give us varied biomes to play in for the sequel. Number 7. Shift Up's Closet. Let's pull back a bit from the actual game and talk next about Kim Hyung-tae and Shift Up. One of the core identities of Stellar Blade are the nanosuits. With Shift Up's scanning rig and their ability to use photogrammetry to scan in the various nanosuits we see in the game, Eve had access to a diverse number of looks. And thanks to cosplayer Hane Ame, sorry guys, I really don't know how to pronounce her name. I've looked on the internet, but I can't find a video that pronounces it. We were given video access to her tour of Shift Up, and part of her tour reveals a quick glimpse into Shift Up's grand closet of outfits that were scanned into the game. While at the head of the closet, Kim Hyung-tae steps in and discusses with Haneame about what his favorite suit is. Without hesitation, he shifts through some of the outfits and pulls out some black latex that is none other than the bunny suit. Haneame is not Korean, so while on the tour, they have an interpreter translate their comments to one another back and forth. Due to this, you can see there is some downtime between exchanges. In one such moment of pause, Kim Hyung-tae then begins to take out another white outfit. This is no doubt the White Pearl, and by God, Haneame, why did you not capitalize on this moment? The White Pearl is my favorite outfit of the game, so I would have loved seeing him take it out and talk about it, but dang it, missed opportunity. Oh well. The tour moves on and we see some other locations of Shift Up's studio. The video is about 10 minutes long and there are some pretty unique nuggets of content she has in her video. It's pretty cool Shift Up gave her access to the studio and it shows Kim Hyung-tae's down-to-earthness. I'll put a link to Haneame's video in the description below the like button. Number 6. Firmware dictates the trim. Some of the item descriptions give straight-up legendary drops of information in terms of lore and world building. The body core item description is no exception. It states Eidos Industrial made only one type of body frame. It's difficult to tell if the information in this item description is from the time before or after reclassification. I'm assuming it is from before. Having only one type of body frame that was one size would have only worked in the pre-reclassification period. In post-reclassification, Mothersphere needed the new humans to believe they were the original organic humans. They would have therefore needed a population made up of all types of humans, adults and children alike, that had different body sizes. After reclassification, Mothersphere would have proliferated her ability to make different types of body frames. Large, small, child-sized, just look at a Rin, etc. But before reclassification, androids lived alongside organic human beings, and they each were aware of their differences as a species. Humans knew they were humans, and they also knew if an android was an android, and vice versa for an android's perception of humans and themselves. All androids were of one body frame type and size. Perhaps there were at least different sizes to differentiate between sexes, a male size and a female size body frame, but that's it. The body frame of each respective sex was identical across all androids. But what gave them a different appearance was the firmware uploaded into their hardware, their body frame. Perhaps the firmware even programmed whatever material made up their fleshy organic like skin, fat, and tissue. I imagine something similar to the TX from Terminator 3. She had an exoskeleton, similar to a body frame, which was surrounded by liquid metal, so the android Eidos could have had something similar, where the firmware dictated how much polymer material existed around the body frame, similar to how the TX could increase or decrease her mass by adjusting the liquid metal around her exoskeleton. And the firmware would have also given the androids different facial features. Facial appearances could have been the result of an amalgamation of randomly selected facial features produced through the firmware that Mothersphere programmed. This randomness would have guaranteed all androids would be distinct. distinct, ensuring each android's physical individuality. The trim was all distinct from one another, truly making each android an individual, but underneath the hardware, the android body frame was singular. Number 5. The Liberation War. The war before the final war has a name. The Gold Gear item description is the only place that I know of in the game that has a title of another war besides the final war. To Raven, when she starts to uncover the truth in the Wars, she comes upon information about a war that occurred before the final war. That is why she gives it that name. But the Gold Gear description states the name of it as the Liberation War. Was the word liberation selected by the androids or the humans? Is the word liberation used as the name for the war to inspire androids to liberate themselves from an oppressive humankind? Did organic humans oppress the android race and mistreat them? All we have to do is look back at almost any instance of human history when two different groups of humans interact to find the answer. Rarely do humans truly coexist in peace. Human history is riddled with examples of war and genocide occurring due to a difference of race, religion, culture, etc. Humans perhaps saw the android race as the other, and like humans often do, they mistreated the other, perhaps enslaved and even killed them. Mother Sphere may have used her ability to spread fervor amongst her android race and inspire them to kill the humans once she settled upon the idea to reclassify humankind. Or is the word liberation a name used as a rally for organic humans? Was reclassification not a slow burn, but instead a sudden, unexpected act of Mother Sphere attempting to wipe out all organic humans? In this case, organic humans were suddenly and quickly decimated by androids and Mother Sphere. When they had the chance to regroup, did they use the word liberate as a way to unify as one organic species against an oppressive artificial superintelligence that was attempting to enact genocide against them? The title, The Liberation War, could have been used as the name for either of these reasons. I am excited to see what ShiftUp does in explaining more about the past in the sequel. With the release of the concept art of what seems to be the Naytiba outbreak, ShiftUp looks primed to explore and show us what happened when Naytiba first boiled up from the Wars. I'm hoping they'll go even further back in time and show us a bit of the war before the final war, now confirmed through this item description as the Liberation War. Number 4. Tachy mode to kill the Elder. Who was a highly decorated soldier of the 7th Airborne Squadron? You know the answer. And what was Tachy known for? The root of her name she earned while battling in the colony's combat simulations. She was fast. Some say she was fast as a tachyon particle. Once Lily equipped Eve with the Tachy device, Eve was able to both equip Tachy's blade and enter in and out of Tachy mode, meaning most importantly, Eve now had access to Tachy's incredible speed. The speed that earned the leader of the 7th Airborne Squadron her name. When battling the Elder, upon giving Adam his penultimate blow, Eve then summons the Tachy device. Eve only battles the Elder if she has not fused with Adam earlier. After fusion, the Elder's essence and blood is now within her and Eve battles the Providence. Adam as an individual is no more. At the end of this battle, Eve summons the power of the Elder, is given access to the Elder's abilities, and uses her increased speed in fusion form to decimate the tactical exoskeleton suit. Without fusion, she does not possess the incredible speed via the Elder's blood and abilities. Therefore, if Eve does not take Adam's hand, she is void of his powers in this final moment of battling him. Once she activates the Tachy device, she uses her tremendous boost in speed from having the abilities of her older sister, and with it, annihilates the Elder with blistering speed and precision, moving fast like a tachyon particle. Number 3. The native Rebrand. When the surviving humans were scattered to the winds, some of them found refuge in the Wars. What was unclear was the time period and length in which the surviving humans operated in the Wars. How long did the surviving humans carry out their Naytiba experiments in Altesse and Abyss War? There may be a piece of evidence that gives us a rough estimation of how long this time period lasted for. Because Raphael Marx was amongst the surviving humans, the group was easily able to reproduce and use the old Eidos industrial complexes to research and conduct their experiments. While running through the Wars, Eve picks up documents and log data that give us some insight into the group of surviving humans, particularly how they renamed their species. Above ground, Mother Sphere had given the android race, the Andro Eidos, the title of humanity. Original organic humans were stripped of that title. They were no longer humans because the name human was given to the Andro Eidos by Mothersphere. The surviving humans, now without a name for their species, decided they would be called natives, as they were the first dominant species of Earth, the native, original species of the blue planet. Most Stellar Blade fans know that because native phonetically sounds like Natiba when pronounced in Korean, Shift Up used that pronunciation of the word as the name to use in their game. Also, if they kept the word native, it was thought that gamers might have been able to determine the plot twist before Oracle and Adam eventually stated this. But within Abyss Levoir, there is a location where we can see the word native plastered on one of the walls. This visual is a nice pairing to all of the log data that Eve picks up, where we see the name native suggested and hinted at in so much of the text. An inference about the time period in which the Natiba scientists were in the Levoirs operating can be made based on this signage. To take the time to rebrand and relabel the inside walls of Abyss Levoir, which were once Eidos Industrial, would mean the natives / the surviving humans were there for a long time, more than months, and maybe even more than a few years. Why would they take the time to redo signage like this if they were rushing and hurrying around for only a few months? They must have felt established, safe, and secure within the Levoirs, enough to take the time to do this. Unfortunately, it doesn't give us an exact understanding of how long the Natiba scientists operated, but tells us that their operations were up and established for at least a bit longer than simply a few months. Number 2. Raphael Marx can't solve sand. Upon venturing to the Great Desert, the tetrapod is damaged in the sandstorm. Sand has damaged one or more of the tetrapod's engines, and while in Abyss Levoir, Adam takes the time to fix this. There is a small side mission in the game called Wife's Medicine. In it, there is mention of the sand disease. It is described as a terrible disease that hardens the organs if not treated quickly. The Andro Eidos humans do not know they are full synthetic androids. This is why they refer to the disease as hardening their organs. But as androids, they do not have organs. They were created by Raphael Marx in collaboration with Mothersphere. While she takes credit for being the only one who truly understood the creation of AI life, Raphael Marx and his company Eidos Industrial take more of the credit for designing and building the body frames. Yes, Mothersphere was likely part of this process, but it is almost certain that the original concept, design, and building of body frames predated Mothersphere's existence. Look at our real world as proof. Companies like Tesla are currently building robots and attempting to build androids. We are nowhere near building or having an artificial superintelligence that exists. This is mirrored in the Stellar Blade universe. Body frames were first built by humans, not an ASI, because that ASI Mothersphere did not exist yet. And the human responsible was none other than our boy Raphael. In his design and building process, he likely did not factor in the variable of sand, specifically of sand getting inside a body frame. If inside, the tiny sand particles would grind against the many parts within a body frame. Just look at the inside of Lily's torso and imagine thousands of grains of sand working their way in and around all of those mechanical parts. This is the sand disease that the Andro Eidos of the post-reclassification period refer to. Because they don't realize they are androids, they describe the sand disease as affecting their organs, hardening them, when in actuality it is sand moving against all of their mechanical parts, resulting in a malfunction that likely paralyzes parts of their body frame. And all these years later, the tetrapod, another mechanical design and invention of Raphael Marx, is damaged by sand yet again. Outfitting the tetrapod with a simple shield would have no doubt protected it from sand damage, but it looks like he never figured out how to apply this technology. Mothersphere determined how to outfit her airborne squad with shields, but good old Raphael hasn't been able to figure it out. Number 1. Raven's Blood. I promised you this on my last video, so thanks for riding with me on this video here to the end. The reveal about Raven has to do with her blood. Well, because she is an Andro Eidos, not technically her blood, but instead whatever Mothersphere used to create the blood-like substance. Being the airborne squad member from Wave 2 that Mothersphere deemed worthy of having the potential to carry out the Eve protocol, the ASI created this individual weapon with advanced features. She gave this angel the ability to not only teleport with a dash of sparkles that trailed her while in combat, but also gave her the ability to do so via the means of the red blood-like substance. Once Raven's alpha core is ripped out of her by Eve, as Raven escapes, upon looking at the red blood that teleports her away, you can see the hundreds of the bird-like Raven forms within the red blood. Now why is this? Mothersphere operates in a way that is similar to what Raphael Marx, her father, believes. His various book of quotes feature statements from him that seem to be the origin points to some of the key ways that Mothersphere functions. Betterment of humanity is one of Raphael Marx' quotes, and Mothersphere states,
I serve the future of mankind.
Raphael Marx speaks of the necessity of lies. Mothersphere constantly lies and deceives her androidos. Raphael Marx speaks of being connected and unified. Mothersphere operates by always being within the head of her androidos, always connected to them, in order to absorb the data from their memory sticks via the network. Another one of Raphael Marx' quotes also seems to be what has influenced Mothersphere, with the raven forms infused into her blood. That quote can be heard from Adam very early on in the game. After defeating Abaddon, Eve and Adam must find the next route. Via the drone, Adam flies up and uses the map data to find their way. He exclaims,
Anyway, please show me the next route, Adam.
Right, hold on. Let me take a look at the map data. As the crow flies, the Hall of Records isn't too far from here.
This is an old-fashioned quote referring to a crow's instinctual ability to always fly in the fastest route from one place to another. I can imagine after he created her, the two would spend countless hours in the presence chamber, where I theorize Mothersphere was originally created and stored, talking to one another. Being a genius, Raphael Marx must have found conversation with ordinary humans dull. With probably one of the highest IQs on Earth, he craved meaningful and profound conversations, which he could only have with one individual, one entity, his new daughter Mothersphere. He must have had many conversations with her, spouting quotes, rhetorical questions, expressions straight from his enormous hubris, all of which were soaked up by Mothersphere. Adam is indeed the root of everything.
Everything that has happened until now, and even before, it began with me. I am the source of it all.
And this includes how Mothersphere thinks, operates, and functions. She took one of her father's favorite quotes, as the crow flies, and quite literally programmed crows into this new airborne squad member's blood, making it so that whenever she would teleport, hundreds of crows fly, carrying her via her blood. Through this, Mothersphere pays respects to one of her father's favorite quotes. After numerous cycles of training in the colony's combat simulations, this angel's comrades see this fantastical ability. They see her teleport around the combat simulation, red blood-like birds that look like crows. No, ravens. Dozens, hundreds, and sometimes thousands of them, transporting their leader all around. Her comrades love this magical ability about her. The birds look like crows, but that name doesn't stick. Ravens are also what they appear to be, and this name is much more fitting. Angels are technically all Eve airborne squad members. They are not born with names. Remember, they are weapons. They are only given names by their comrades. When we see the red blood-like substance teleport Raven away from the presence chamber during Stellar Blade, she has had the Alpha Core ripped out of her by Eve moments prior. Therefore, the red ravens are clearly a part of her Andro-Eidos body frame. They are not due to her Alpha Nativa form. In fact, if anything, the black raven-like husk and feather abilities Raven has as an Alpha derived from the Andro-Eidos ability Mothersphere has given her. The ravens/crows are programmed into her blood, and this influences her evolution when Adam places the Alpha Core inside of her body frame. The black-winged unidentified Nativa we know from the game derives from the crows programmed into her blood by Mothersphere, and she, being inspired from a quote he often used, confirms once again that everything really did come from Raphael Marx. Alright guys, I'm here to announce something special. I've started a KoFi donation and support page. If you would like to support me, you can visit my KoFi page, which I'll link in the description through this video, and you can also find it through KoFi directly at Unlisted Sanctuary. Through the KoFi donation and support page, you can offer tip donations, become a monthly member, and request commissions. Okay, so the tip donation is pretty clear. Similar to YouTube's Super Chat donations and Patreon's tip donations, KoFi is pretty similar. You can offer a straightforward tip to support me. Then there's the member and commission features. If you want to become a paying monthly member, you can do so on KoFi's member tab. This will obviously support me on a monthly basis and help me keep doing what I'm doing to produce those high quality videos. But what do you get in return? If you recall a handful of my videos, I usually like to drop a quick little photo mode montage of Eve laced to some music. Although short, these quick segments take a lot of time, and I therefore haven't really included them in my recent videos as of late. But I still like jumping in photo mode and taking pictures of Eve. For paying monthly members on KoFi, you will have access to an ever-expanding library of 4K resolution image sets that I've taken in photo mode. You will be able to download the images, and you can use them in any way you see fit. They can be used as wallpapers, printed as displays, etc. Whatever you see fit, the files are going to be yours. You can download them once you become a monthly member on my KoFi page. Right now I have 6 image sets up, and I will add 2 new image sets each month. Think of Eve as the model and the various nanosuits and locations of Stellar Blade as the theme of each set. You can check out the preview images as well, so you'll know exactly what images you'll get in each image set. And then there's the commissions. Your preferences are probably different from mine. Some of the best moments for me as a Stellar Blade creator have been me going to the YouTube community page and talking with you about the different nanosuits that you like and the nanosuits that I like. Through the commission feature on my KoFi page, you can fill out a Google form that I've created to tell me your preferences, your favorite nanosuits, your favorite poses of Eve, your favorite expressions she makes in photo mode, and some other miscellaneous information that I'll need to create your commission. Through that, I will create an image set that is tailor-made for you. This is just the start of things with KoFi, and through your support, I will be able to do much more on YouTube as a creator. Alright guys, I truly appreciate your time and all your support over these past 1.5 years. You guys are awesome. I'll see you down in the comments, maybe on my KoFi page, but definitely in the next video. Have a great one. Peace.